Cav Manning. So I'm rewatching all the Nitros and pay-per-views until WCW went out of business. And I'm sure you've answered this, but why did you miss Starrcade 97? Can you explain more?
Okay, true story. My mother-in-law and her husband were in Arizona for Christmas, and a buddy of mine made me a pan of pot brownies because I knew I wouldn't be able to smoke because my mother-in-law was there. So, and this is back in my Soma days. I had a little bit of a problem with the muscle relaxers, and I just it was Christmas, man. I was, drinking a little bourbon, drinking a little beer, drinking a little wine, drinking a little champagne,
Having some
eating some
brownies.
somas, had a Xanax.
You call that the David Crosby Christmas.
Yeah, I looked over the Iron Sheik, said, I think you forgot the Z, Bubba. I said, I'll get to the Z, baby. A to the Z, Bubba. So all of a sudden, man, it's like, and I have no idea, but my buddy says to me, he goes, where are those brownies at? And I said, what do you mean? He goes, and it was like like, how you make the, back in the day, they had like the little four brownies.
In the pan?
No, not pan. It was yeah, I mean, it was,
You bake them in a pan, no?
but it was like almost paper. Yeah, it was weird. So he said, man, he goes, there's like an ounce of weed in that. And I'm like, oh, fuck. It's like eating bud with chocolate on it was basically what it was because it was like eating grass. There was so much. So that shit started to kick in. It took a while, and I had this big giant. The house was big as fuck, and all the furniture was oversized. We had a couch that was was huge, and I sat in it. And I swear to you, man, like the thing just ate me.
Mm-hmm.
I got heavier and heavier and heavier, and I finally got up and I walked down the from that room. You walk through another main room and then another hallway, and then you went to the master. It was easy the length of a bowling alley that I had to walk to get to the master. And as I walked, man, I just started fucking sweating. So I thought, fuck, man, am I having a heart attack? So I went in the master, and this is 97, right? 97.
97. Starrcade, so end of the
Yeah.
year.
And I'm looking at my wife's closet door. And I take my shirt off because I'm fucking sweating through it. And I look, man, and I'm fucking gray. I mean, I'm just fucking gray. And I said, man, am I having a heart attack? So I go outside, and it was cold as fuck. It was like 40 degrees outside. There was steam coming off me. And I walked back inside, and I sat down on the fucking bed, and I said, I put my hand here, and fucking, I was all fucked up. I couldn't count 10
I
seconds.
was gonna say you're
Yeah,
not a
I'm
good
on.
judge at that point.
Yeah, at this point, yeah, let me self-diagnose myself before before WebMD, and I said, I'm not gonna take a chance, man, dying on Christmas. And I always had that thing that because my father died of a heart attack, and so I called, and we lived in a gated community, but not only did we live in a gated community, but the front door of my house had an 8 foot, like, what the fuck would you call it? It had a big fountain and these doors that we brought in from a fucking Spanish mission. So you had to get in my property, then you had to get in my courtyard. I had
Courtyard.
this big giant courtyard in front of my house with a fountain that was probably, I don't know, 15, 20 feet tall fountain. All, that Spanish Phoenix shit. And so they're out there, and you could buzz from out, to get into the courtyard. So my wife is they're talking, and I hear my wife yell down the hallway. She goes, Kevin, did you call an ambulance?
You didn't let anyone know that they were coming?
No.
Oh, forget that.
Why would I?
Why not? Of
Just
course.
sitting down there, you know. She says, you know, where are you? I said, I'm down. I'm in the master. So I hear them come in, and I hear my Doberman fucking going crazy, and I'm like, oh fuck. So they take the Doberman and put him outside in the backyard, and they hear him wheeling like down to me. And it's a ways, man. Like they're not there in a second. I'm waiting. And all of a sudden they come and they get to the doorway. It's a double doorway into the master. I'm sitting on the bed. I'm looking at him. The guy comes in. The guy's Australian that's working. I said, if I could think I might be having a heart attack. He goes, why is that? I said, I don't know. I just don't feel real good. I said, I feel fucked up. And he says, you having a hard time breathing? I said, man, I'm having a hard time just, keeping, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm so fucking wasted. And so the guy, they put the...
At any point, did they ask you what you've ingested?
Well, that's the guy. The guy says, what have you taken?
Yeah.
And I start naming this fucking list.
And he goes, wait, that's not a heart attack.
No. The guy says to me, he goes, is this a suicide attempt? I said, no, man, it's Christmas.
Did you say that?
Yeah, I said, no, it's Christmas. I ain't gonna kill myself on Christmas, man. I'm just fucked up. And he says, I guess. So they take me to Scottsdale North Hospital, and I go in there, and they do a PET scan on me. And because my diaphragm is so thick, you can't get the image. So the guy that's working on Christmas is going to diagnose me. And the guy says, I can't find the bottom of your heart. Like, it's not showing up. Like, I'm thinking, okay. So they put a heart monitor on me. I'm fine. I don't have any symptoms. But when they take my blood, there's an enzyme when you have a heart attack that goes through the roof. Well, I also fucking that day trained legs and back that morning because I had the key to the gym. So I walloped myself. So, of course, I've got a high level of this enzyme because I'd broken down so much muscle tissue from working out. I spent the night in the hospital, and I'm like, oh, fuck. I called Eric, and Eric, I said, I think I've had a heart attack. They think I've had a heart attack. And Eric's like, all right. And I gave him the number where I was. And then the next day came, and he's like, I'll send a private plane for you. It ended up Scott had to work double duty. And I never, I wasn't going to tell anybody. Oh, I was so fucked up.
Bet that didn't kill your buzz at all, being in the hospital.
No, especially when I
tests.
sat there and the nurse came in. She said, I want you to walk around so we can, and I'm thinking to myself, like, do you have any idea how fucking high I am? Like, fuck me.
What were they trying to force?
So they could look at my monitor to see if I had. So I was there for 24 hours under observation. And the doctor comes in the next day, and he fucking looked like Garfinkel. And he says to me, he goes, not only did you not have not did you not have any heart problems last night, he goes, you didn't have one irregular heartbeat. He said, which is unbelievable. He said, most people would have something. He said, you don't have any sinus arrhythmia. And I'm like, okay. He says, you can go. So I go, and I go back to Tamara's there. She drives me back to the house, and her mom's husband are going to watch T, and Tamara and I, which we never really got a chance to, we went on a date and we went and saw Titanic. And fucking, we're in Titanic, and my fucking pager's just rifling off. And it's a number in Scottsdale. So finally, I get up and walk in the lobby, and I call, and they're like, "You need to get back to the hospital like right now." I'm like 2 hours and 20 minutes in this motherfucker. They drove me over there, did a bunch of more tests on me, and then did the nuclear dye test, and then I didn't have any issues. So I went back to work.
And back to work. Unbelievable. Well, that's some story. Starrcade 97, that was. Questions from the house.
I'm sorry.
You're apologizing to Eric now, clearly.
I'm not sorry. I'm sorry. Not.
Am I supposed to know the reference? You always launch into your Pee-wee and you get me every time.